Next day, I woke up way too early because Jake texted me like 5 times, and I was already half asleep and dreaming about failing a math test, which made me groan and hit snooze like 3 times before finally dragging myself out of bed. And Mom was already in the kitchen making pancakes, which smelled amazing, and I tried not to think about being late again, but failed miserably. Then I grabbed some toast and ran out the door, almost forgetting my backpack. Again, and the bus was late, but Jake and Sarah were there waiting, and we all joked about yesterday and how I totally melted on the math problem, and Sarah teased me about drawing on the principal again, which made me blush, and we all laughed. The bus ride was chaotic, as usual, kids yelling and listening to music too loud, and someone spilled juice on the floor, which caused a mini riot, and I just sat there laughing at the absurdity. Then school started, and first period was English, and Mr. Williams was reading out loud, and I tried to pay attention, but kept thinking about the prank we planned for lunch and how we could make it epic without getting caught. And then the fire alarm went off, which was random, and everyone had to evacuate, and outside it was freezing, and kids were running around screaming, and I almost tripped over a dog that was somehow in the schoolyard, and Jake made a joke about it being the end of the world, which made everyone laugh, even the teachers. Then we had science, and I actually paid attention because we were dissecting frogs, and it was gross, but also kind of fascinating, and Sarah screamed when she touched the frog, and I laughed so hard I almost dropped mine, and the teacher gave me a look, but I didn't care. Lunch came, and we executed the prank, which was harmless but hilarious. Jake put a fake bug in Sarah's backpack, and she screamed and threw it at him, and everyone at our table was crying from laughing. Even the lunch ladies were smirking, and I felt like a genius. Then history came, and Mr. Robbins was in his usual monotone mode, and I doodled some faces on my notes to stay awake, and accidentally drew a comic about the principal catching me with the doodles yesterday, which made me snort, and a kid next to me almost got caught laughing, and it was chaos again. Then gym was torture, because I can't run fast, and Jake kept yelling at me to move faster, and I fell on the track, which made everyone laugh, but I laughed too, because it was just ridiculous. Then school finally ended, and we all ran to our lockers and grabbed our stuff, and Mom was waiting in the car like usual, and I told her about the prank, and she laughed more than I expected, and we drove home listening to music blasting through the speakers, and I felt like maybe this is what high school is really about: the chaos, the laughter, the stupid pranks, the almost getting caught, the friends who make everything fun, even the bad stuff. And then I got home, dumped my backpack on the floor, and collapsed on my bed thinking about homework, which I would totally procrastinate, and text from Jake and Sarah planning the next prank, and I smile because life is messy and crazy, but also kind of perfect in its own ridiculous way. And I texted back, yeah, let's do it tomorrow, and then just lay there staring at the ceiling thinking about how tomorrow will be another adventure, another disaster, another reason to laugh, and maybe a little bit of embarrassment too, but that's life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, even the tripping, falling, getting yelled at moments. They all make the day worth it, and I drifted off to sleep dreaming about pranks and pizza and the chaos of school hallways and the weird little victories that make being a teenager actually kind of awesome. And even though tomorrow will probably suck in some way, I know I'll survive it with Jake and Sarah and maybe even a few random kids laughing with us. And that's enough to make me feel like I belong somehow.